Hello guys, and welcome back to our latest tip and hint. Today we're going to be talking about a fitness survival kit. Now, I was born and raised in Minnesota, and what we were told in Minnesota is to have a survival kit with us at all times. You know, food, snacks, blankets, because we lived in rural Minnesota, and when you drove around, especially in the wintertime, there was a very good possibility that during a blizzard you'd go off the road, get stuck, you know, lose power in your car, and you'd have to sit there and be warm and have food and drink. So we had to bring a survival kit with us. So that popped up something in my mind about one of the things or barriers that I've seen in fitness quite often, and that is people getting stuck out on the road, traveling in jobs, taking the kids out, and not having a meal that's prepared for them, or nothing where they're going to miss meals or miss food. And then what will end up happening is they'll have to either go without eating, or they'll have to grab something really quick that maybe isn't really healthy, or that extended period without food will turn into cravings, which they're going to then, you know, eat more than what they should at a later time. So I came up with the idea of having a survival kit that you either would store in your car, keep in your car, not just take with you from day to day, because the truth is, if you take a kit with you from day to day, there's going to be times when you're going to lose it, and times when you're not going to always have it with you. So a kit that is in your car, that stays in your car at all times, or maybe a kit that you bring to the office with you, or a kit that you bring with you when you're, you know, on a walk, on a day out where, you know, maybe you're doing something for the entire day. Just either having a portable kit that's very small, either with you in your car, at work, or wherever you're traveling, can be very helpful, because as you know about us, if you follow us, you'll know that we're very non-traditional. We're very outside the box. We're not in necessarily, you know, there's nothing wrong with 5 or 6 small meals a day, but you don't have to do 5 or 6 meals to succeed. But there is times when people get hungry and they need something to eat, so a small survival kit, things that can help them get by, help them stay good with their nutrition, keep moderate in their calorie levels, can really help them avoid, because generally what I've found is when people have a bad day, it can spiral into several bad days. So one of the keys is just being consistent, continually having good days. So just getting by, and getting by with a meal or two that may not be ideal, but will get you through, can be very, very important. So a survival kit. Now let's look at, you know, what are the parameters of the survival kit? What does a good survival kit entail? And one of the things you'll know about us is we say that it all depends. It all depends on you. So I'm going to give you some base parameters, and you can customize it to yourself however you want. The first thing you need is you need a bag. You need some kind of something to store all your kit stuff in. This is my little shameless plug. I have my little cooler here, but you can use something smaller. You can use, you know, it does just something that, you know, is going to be easily for storage. Maybe something that's not clear, that's going to keep some of the sun out. But that's the first thing, is have something that you can store in your wherever you're going, car, work, you know, out, wherever you may be. Then it's like, okay, what do you put in your survival kit, you know, from a nutrition standpoint, because this is a nutrition survival kit? Well, there are a few things. Now, a couple of things that I'm going to list on screen I have with me, a few things that I don't. You have to keep in mind that I work from home, so I don't necessarily per se have a survival kit, because I do work from home. But when I was not working from home, I did carry a survival kit, a nutrition survival kit with me, in case I needed a meal or a snack or something. So the first one obviously is, you know, I always carried a thing or two of water. And I had a thing or two of water just in case I got really thirsty, because we all know about the importance of hydration, but drinking water can also, you know, decrease hunger as well too. So having some water is important. And there's another reason, which I'll explain in a second. And then I also would always carry a few packets of, you know, Crystal Light travel packets with me, just for flavoring of the water, or ease of drinking the water if you didn't feel like drinking regular pure water. I always would carry, you know, protein bars with me. They would always be in my kit. Now, I love the .Fit bars, but I generally would carry the Quest bars in my kit before the .Fit bars, and the reason being is the bars have like a chocolate coating on them, and which they melt real easily. The Quest bars don't. So something that, you know, if it gets warm, you want to find a bar like a Quest bar that isn't going to, you know, melt very easily, that you could still unravel when warm and still be able to eat. But protein bars are a great thing to include in your survival kit. In addition to that, I don't have it filled up, but a shaker container for your protein shakes would be another really quick, easy thing to bring with you. And what my suggestion would be is put dry powder in it. Just put dry powder, nothing else. Don't put anything in it. And that way, if you need something, if it's time for you to eat and you're really hungry and it's either I'm going to go down to the convenience store or not eat at all you have to do is you have your dried protein, which is there and readily available for you anytime. Then all you have to do is take your bottled water and maybe even your flavor pack and pour it in there along with your protein. Pour your water in there, shake it up, and then you have a quick meal that you can have immediately. And other than that, the other suggestions that I have, I don't have with me, but there are other things that I've found to be effective to put in your travel kit, because your travel kit can be as big or as small as you want. Small packets of beef jerky are very, very good. Beef jerky in most cases is obviously very high in protein, low in carbohydrates, low in fat, so it works great as a protein source if you get burnt out on protein powder or protein bars. Quick carbohydrate snacks that you can bring with you. Obviously you can either put pretzels in a Ziploc bag. You can get mini bags of pretzels. Any other snacks? Generally, I recommend lower fat snacks, and the reason being is regular snacks generally will be too calorically dense, and lower fat snacks are less calorically dense. So things like pretzels are perfect because they're very low in fat. In addition to that, if you're looking for other carbohydrate sources, you can look at different crackers that you can put in your kit. One thing that I've found that works really well are Uncle Ben's makes a zip top rice in a bag that's already pre-made. It may not be hot, but you could if you really need something quick carbohydrates and you don't feel like crackers or pretzels or protein bars, you could add that in, because you just zip the top and it's already made and you can eat it. As far as another protein source that you can consume, along lines with the foil zip tops, not cans, but the zip tops, you can get tuna, chicken breast, and other things in the zip tops. The tuna is the most readily available, but you can get tuna that will store for a very long time that you can easily just zip the top off and eat a good amount of protein right there. And finally, I would also recommend getting a small packet, whether it is putting it in a Ziploc bag or the small, already made packets of nuts. And I definitely would recommend like getting just almonds, and more of just plain almonds would probably be better. Or I've seen like dry roasted almonds with sea salt are also phenomenal. Sometimes the coated ones with sugars and so forth, you may want to avoid that. But if you're looking for the most healthy meal possible and not wanting to have a protein shake, one of the other things that you can do is you could also combine your meals, where you had a little pack of beef jerky and maybe a small pack of pretzels and maybe a small pack of almonds, and that would probably give you somewhere in the range of 400 to 500 calories as a fairly good meal, and not in your ratios of good quality. Proteins, carbohydrates, fats are all going to be pretty decent, and it's going to fairly easily substitute a meal. A couple other things I want to show you. I'll be back in just a moment. Hey guys, sorry about that. I thought I was prepared, but there's a couple things I forgot. If you're a large supplement user, and you'll know from us that we like supplements, we recommend them, but not everyone has to take them in order to get good results. But if you take a good amount of supplements, maybe having a backup of your different products that you can put in your kit is probably not a bad thing. There's obviously some issues with vitamins being exposed to heat and so forth, but that is something that some people do. And finally, we have our little Ziploc container here. And these, I love these because these just screw on, screw off. They're very portable, pretty heavy duty. And one other final thing that I've done that has worked well is in these containers, I will put dry oatmeal and dry protein powder. So I just have dry oatmeal, dry protein powder, and then I will just pour water in and then stir with a spoon or a fork, turn it into like a pudding consistency, and eat it like that. You can also do that with just protein. Put just dry protein in here, drizzle water in and stir it up and eat it like a pudding. And that obviously leads to the final point of you need utensils. Put some plastic utensils in your survival kit. Make sure that whatever you use, that you replenish whenever you use it. And these are just some tips on, the biggest point is customize it however you want. If you need, you know, a different size container, if some of the foods I'm recommending doesn't sound real tasty and you have your own preference, as long as it sticks within the parameters of your meal plan and what your nutritional strategy is, just make sure to put together some kind of kit that's going to be readily available for you wherever you may need it, and is going to be things that are going to have a long shelf life and aren't going to be damaged by exposure to heat, cold, whatever that may be. It's just having a survival kit with you, and that can make the ability to be consistent with your diet, which consistency is the key, you know, much, much more easily. And then the final thing is, from a workout standpoint, it goes into your workout as well too. Sometimes we're in a hurry and we don't have time, so there is nothing wrong with bringing a few things in your survival kit that are workout-wise that are very small. A couple things that that I've seen people do is bring like the perfect push-up. If you ever seen the perfect push-up, the ones that rotate and turn, just having those in their car at all times, so that they need a quick workout, they can do some push-ups, dips, whatever it may be. I've seen people put an exercise ball that they can put up against the wall and do squats or crunches or whatever, or different exercises on the ball. And then probably my favorite one is something that I'm going to put online. I don't have one to show you, but I'm going to put the website up so you can check it out yourself. It's called the TRX, and they call it Fitness Anywhere. It's something where you can hook it to a tree is what the military uses, hook it to a side of a car, doorknob, you name it. It utilizes your own body weight to mimic any exercise, and you can get a great workout. So what I'm trying to tell you is, yes, I understand people are busy. I understand people have lives. There is no excuse. You can bring everything with you. You can survive with a survival kit. Stay good and consistent on your diet. And if you don't have time to work out, invest in this TRX or look at the TRX, because you can bring it with you no matter where you go, and it takes up hardly any space to transport it. I hope this was a good tip for you today. I enjoy you joining us today, and have a great day.
When you feel that something's wrong, I'll shelter you and keep you warm. I'll never let you walk alone.